Have you ever wondered why the same language sounds so different across the Atlantic? Why a cookie in the United States is a biscuit in the United Kingdom? Welcome to the fascinating world of American and British English, two dialects of the same language that often feel like two different languages altogether. Let's start with spelling. It's no secret that American and British English often spell the same words differently. For example, while Americans write color, flavor, and humor, Brits prefer color, flavor, and humor. The extra U in British English is a remnant of the French influence on English. Now consider the word center. Americans spell it as center, but Brits spell it as center. The re ending in British English is again a French influence. But that's not all. Some words are spelled with Z in American English, like realize, but C in British English, like realize. Next, we have vocabulary. It's often amusing to see how different the same things are named in the two dialects. For instance, Americans ride in elevators and trucks, while Brits ride in lifts and lorries. Americans live in apartments, but Brits live in flats. And while Americans go on vacation, Brits prefer a holiday. But it's not just about different words for the same thing. Sometimes the same word can have different meanings in the two dialects. For example, pants in American English refers to trousers, but in British English it refers to underwear. Now, let's move on to pronunciation. This is where things get really interesting. Take the word vitamin. Americans pronounce it as vitamin, while Brits pronounce it as vitamin. Similarly, schedule is pronounced as schedule in American English, but schedule in British English. And it's not just about individual words. The intonation, the rise and fall of voice pitch, is also different in the two dialects. American English tends to be more nasal and has a clear R sound, while British English is often more guttural and drops the R at the end of words. Finally, we have grammar. While the differences here are not as pronounced as in spelling or vocabulary, they do exist. For example, Brits tend to use more formal constructions. They often use the present perfect tense where Americans would use the simple past. So while an American might say, "I already ate," a Brit would say, "I've already eaten." So, to summarize, American and British English differ in spelling, vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar. While spelling differences often come down to the French influence on English, vocabulary differences are usually a matter of different words for the same thing, or the same word having different meanings. Pronunciation differences include the pronunciation of individual words and the general intonation, while grammar differences are often about formality and the use of different tenses. So, the next time you watch a British TV show or an American movie, pay attention to the language. You'll be surprised how much you can learn about the differences between American and British English.